Our College Game Day World Tour is coming to a close. Waco, Texas, our final stop, but certainly the season just starting to hit the ultimate prize, and that is inclusion into the NCAA tournament. Week away now as we get set to try to figure out the field of 68 a week from Sunday. What are you looking for this weekend?
I'm looking forward to this game, Baylor versus Texas. I think both of these teams need this win. You're looking at Baylor, they're 7-8 in the Big 12 conference. They have to get to 8 wins. Not one team in the Big 12 has ever made it to the NCAA tournament with the below 500 record in conference play. Lace Darius Dunn only 5 points away from being the all-time leading scorer in Big 12 history. So that's a great game. And then you look at Texas, a team that has lost 3 of their last 4 wins, lost 2 in a row. 3 weeks ago, I thought they were the best team in the country, really struggling defensively. They've got to get back to playing Texas basketball, getting after it on the defensive end if they want to win the Big 12 and possibly win a national championship.
Well, Villanova going to Pittsburgh is bigger than what people realize, because Villanova started the season 16-1. They're 5-8 out of their last 13 games. A loss at Pitt would make them 5-9 going into the Big East tournament. What's the issue? Their guard issue. When they beat Syracuse at Syracuse, the 3 guards combined for 51 points. But Fisher, Stokes, and Williams have got to find their range with consistency if they're going to knock off Pitt on the road. It's a payback game because they lost to them in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago.
I'm going to go in the SEC, and Georgia taking on Alabama. You know, I think Georgia is already in the NCAA tournament field, but it's not like they're a lock. If Georgia loses down the stretch, if they lose this game at Alabama, they don't win in the SEC tournament, it's not a lock that they're going to stay in that tournament field. And I think for Alabama, they've got a couple of good wins. They don't have anything in the non-conference to rely upon. So if it gets down to a paper discussion, what their resume looks like on paper without regard to any sort of eye test, Alabama doesn't have enough. I think Alabama's got to win this game against Georgia, and I think they've got to have a reasonable showing in the SEC tournament and hope a couple teams fall down and that we don't have bid stealers out of maybe the Missouri Valley when Wichita State comes up and steals a bid. We can have that in other conferences. East Tennessee State could wind up beating Belmont and stealing a bid. That can happen, and those are going to knock out some teams that may feel a little bit comfortable. I think for Alabama to feel comfortable, they've got to win.
You know, on Selection Sunday, I think Alabama could be one of the more interesting cases in recent memory. Let's say the Tide does win against Georgia, doesn't play well in the tournament, Florida loses at Vandy. Could it be possible that a co-champion of a Power 6 conference gets left out of the field of 68? We'll see a week away from Selection Sunday.